Hey, what's up? It's Jake from Nimbus DevOps, and I wanted to take a second to talk about writing Pythonic code. So, what does it mean to write Pythonic code? Well, it really just means being very concise and compact and having your code just really be efficient, but also um, take up as little space as possible, preferably on one line. So, I'm going to give you an example. So, let's say we have a golf club membership. Okay, and there are two types of members. You've got a senior and an open membership. And for the senior membership, your age has to be at least 55, and you need to have over a 7 golf handicap. Okay? And what we want to do is we want to determine the status of multiple um, I guess applicants. Okay, so how do we do that? So let's get some data. So I've got some data. Let me copy and paste it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through that data and go, is this a senior membership or an open membership? So you can see here's the age and here's the golf handicap. So we have an array, and in this array are arrays of two elements, age and handicap. Now they're not defined age and handicap. That's just we logically know what they are, and I'm telling you so you can understand the data. So we also need to run our function. So we need to print, and let's just call our function membership that takes an argument data. And then let's define our membership function that takes an argument data and then does something. Okay, so if I talk out loud what I'm going to do with this, what I'm thinking is, so we go through this data array, right? And for each element in the array, so for each set of two numbers, if the first number is greater than 55 and the second number, or equal to, and the second number is greater than 7, then I'm going to return senior into an empty list. That empty list is basically going to be like the applicant status results, right? And then do that for each object in this array. Okay, so let's say status is an empty array, and then we at the end want to return the status, and the status is just going to be full of like open and senior. So then we would just need to say, well, if I do this and I run it right now, Python test, we get an empty array. Good, now we just need to put stuff in it. So we want to put senior in it, right? So, but we don't always want to put senior in it. We want to put senior in it if certain things are true. So we want to say, well, for I in data, so for every object or element in the data array, if I index 0, so the first number, is greater than or equal to 55, and I index 1, the second number, is greater than 7, then we're going to say status.append senior. And if that's not true, else status.append open. And that should work. Open, open, senior, open, senior, which is correct. This is less than 55, less than 55. This is a senior, right handicap. Open, open, it's a senior, correct handicap. All right, so this code works. And that's fine, and you could leave it like that. But if you wanted to be more Pythonic, there'd be a different way to do it. So let's say more Pythonic. So let's go ahead and comment this code out. And then I'm just going to basically do the same thing. So we're returning status, which is an empty string, or an empty array. So I'm going to just say return array, and that should return an array. And just like before, I want to return senior, right? But I don't always want to return senior. I only want to return senior if certain things are true. Like if the age is greater than or equal to 55 and their handicap is greater than 7, right? Else I'm going to return open, which is awesome. The problem is I don't have age and handicap, so I can just say for, and then make a set age handicap in data. And guess what? This does the exact same thing. So this would be the more Pythonic way to solve this problem. Even though it does the exact same thing as this, it uses the exact same functions, the same methods, it takes the same amount of execution time, the same amount of resources. It's really just the same code written in a different way. So should you use a more Pythonic way? Well, it depends. So in the bubble of using the Python language, you should always use more Pythonic code. I would argue that some people get a little carried away with this, and it can be a little hard to read, especially for junior or mid-level software engineers. So it might be in your best interest to write it more like this, just so other people can read it, because it is a little self-documenting, where you have to be more familiar with the subtle nuances of Python to know that you can do this way. And somebody else might not be that clever. So anyways, that is what it means to write code in a Pythonic way. If you have questions, of course, let me know. And if you have a little puzzle you think you'd like me to solve, and try to solve it in a more naive way and then in a Pythonic way, let me know, and I'm happy to do that. And if not, then I'll see you later.